trying to make the 5 books of the law. You need to understand that when you begin to read this text that we call the Sermon on the Mount. Now, most of the time, I don't know about y'all growing up, when I thought about the Sermon on the Mount, I only thought about those verses I read this morning, which are known as the Beatitudes. We all learned those in one way or another when we were kids. Either we heard it, we learned it in Sunday school. At one time, we had to memorize those puppets. How many of y'all remember memorizing the Beatitudes? Well, I guess we're going to have to bring a few things back. Let's think. Actually, the Baptists made them memorize. They don't went to vacation Bible school with them. Methodist weren't all that good on memorization. The Sermon on the Mount goes from chapter 5, verse 1, all the way to the conclusion of chapter 7. So 2 full chapters dealing with this teaching that Jesus has to the crowd that meets him on the mountain. We will see the Beatitudes this morning. We looked at them a little bit this summer. In the next 2 to 3 weeks, we're going to look at almost, not all, but a good chunk of the rest of the Sermon on the Mount and look at the ethical teachings that Jesus is calling for. Now, most human beings, and this planet is full of folk, most human beings, even though they're not Christian, not been baptized, not part of faith, know something about Jesus of Nazareth because just about everybody universally understands Jesus to be a great teacher. That's what he's known for. Mahatma Gandhi was a big student of Jesus of Nazareth. His whole push in India and in South Africa, which aimed at injustice against Indians, was based on Jesus' teaching as he understood it of nonviolence. Gandhi, although he was a Hindu, and sometimes folks forget that, even though Gandhi was a practicing Hindu, Gandhi also lifted up the teachings of Jesus as the supreme example of love to humanity. But if you sit there and you actually read the Sermon on the Mount, you will understand right off the bat that what Jesus is calling for us to do, for many of us, we believe, one, it's not practical, or it's way beyond our scope of living. Because it will be Jesus in the Sermon on the Mount that will tell us, love your enemies. It will come from that teaching later on where Jesus will tell his disciples to turn the other cheek.